Oh my goodness. So it's been an interesting couple days here. I did not do any recording yesterday. Yesterday was the day Moss and I were supposed to split up, but we decided to zero a second time for a few reasons. One, Moss likes to zero, and she woke up.
I'm really good at it.
We woke up and she's like, do you want to zero? And I was like, no, we got to hike. And then neither one of us had really slept much the day before or that night. And then I was like, well, I could give my ankle some more time, but more than anything, so we got here on Sunday afternoon after hiking, and then Sunday night I got a phone call from home. My grandma's not doing very well, so trying to figure out what to do, and didn't really sleep that well either night around our zero day. So I thought, okay, well, I can do another zero, so we'll double zero, and that'll give me some time to figure out my next steps and what to do.
I'm going for the 000.
No, we're not. So I didn't want to be in the woods, away from any way to get home, and then get a phone call, and then start making decisions based on emotions. So I thought if I could stay in town one more day and kind of get a plan for what I'm going to do when the time comes where I need to make a decision. So we went ahead and double zeroed. It was a very restful day. We met up with several other hikers. I got to see Disco last night. I haven't seen Disco in a long time. We had dinner with a couple other hikers. Right now we're walking to this ATM in McDonald's because Moss needed an ATM and it doesn't work. So now we're walking to another place. So anyway, I just wanted to have a plan in place so I had an idea of how I was going to react so I wouldn't be making emotional decisions. So I feel good about all that. We have a shuttle. We had a shuttle. We thought we had a shuttle lined up today to pick us up and take us to the trail at 9:30. It was yesterday, and then I texted him yesterday morning and said, hey, is it okay if we reschedule for the next day? He said, sure. So last night I told him we would, because we had planned to be picked up at our breakfast place. So we texted him, so we're probably not going to go there. Just pick us up at the hotel if that works for you. And the guy's never responded. He should be here like 45 minutes. So we don't really know what we're going to do with that. Some of the people that we know that have all showed up in town here the last night are going to do some slack packing today. I don't know, I'm still just a little bit nervous about getting out too far away from a town because everything's kind of up in the air. But bottom line is I plan to get off trail for a week probably-ish to go home at some point, and I don't really know when that's going to happen. So I don't know. I feel like everything's just kind of up in the air. So what we're hoping to do is we may, if we can get this to work out here in the next 30 minutes, we've got a couple calls or texts into shuttlers. We may try to do a like 18-ish, either a 15 or 20, there's a couple different roads between 15 and 20 miles. And it's gonna be really hot today. It's supposed to be like, there's heat warnings. But if we can get in 15 to 20 miles and come back to town, I feel good about that, because I could still I'd have a ride lined up back to a town. Wouldn't be kind of like completely out there yet, but I'd still be getting good amount of miles in today. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I just know that a lot has happened for me in the last 48 hours. And I have an idea of what I'm going to do. I just don't know for sure. One thing's for certain, I will finish this hike. I live 1,100 miles from where I am now. So I'm leaning towards probably a rental car, and I can get that in Barrington, which is 90 trail miles from here, or from where I'm at now. So hopefully I can get that 90 miles in the next few days, next 5-ish days, and then reassess and see what's going on. And then if possible, then I would try to get another 90 miles into Rutland, Vermont. And if I can make it to Rutland before going home, that'd be really nice, because then I'd have less than 500 miles when I got back to the trail. So I don't know, a lot going on in my mind. But rest assured, I will finish this hike. All right.
I'm still here.
So we've got our morning figured out. The shuttle driver we were waiting for, somehow he missed the message yesterday. Long story short, he's on his way here now to take us back to the trail. And we have someone lined up to bring us back to the hotel later today. And the other good thing about that is this will be my first time hiking on these homemade orthotics. So if it's a complete bust, I only have to do 15 miles in them. So we were trying to do like 17 and a half, but the shuttler that was going to bring us back to the hotel doesn't want to pick up after 6 p.m. So we're still going to get 15 miles in today. So we'll get a full hiking day in. But we're going to come back here, which is good, because there's also heat warnings. It's already like in the mid 80s today. It's already in the mid 80s today, and there's heat warnings for anyone without air conditioning. And I was wondering, what does that mean for people carrying packs and walking up and down mountains?
We don't have air conditioning.
And you know what else we don't have? We're not carrying full packs today. I'm not either. I do have my tent, my sleeping bag, but I did not carry my food bag and my air mat and some other things. So we're quasi slack packing today. So anyway, we're gonna get our miles in and keep advancing north, and then come back here tonight. Probably do laundry and shower again, and then keep on trucking tomorrow, hopefully. All right, we'll see you in a bit. You want to say bye one more last time?
Bye. See you later.
See you later. All right, Papa Joe just dropped us. Yes, us. My BFF is still here. Don't act like that. You're the one that wants to break up.
I do want to break up.
So Papa Joe drops us off. We're heading back over to the trail right now. We have 17.4 miles to do, and we don't have as much time as we need to do it.
Challenge accepted.
So we're just gonna have to go fast today and do the best we can. It's already, as soon as we got out of the car, Moss said, "What are you doing?" Oh, Moss said it is already so hot.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, it's hot. Aren't you glad we're going back to shower and maybe do laundry again?
Yes, I love laundry.
All right. Have a good day, and I'll bring you along if we need to see anything else. Are you just all so excited we're still together? I'm making miles. This first 1.75 is flat along farmland. You see I'm walking next to a cornfield right here. I'm looking forward also to going back to town today, because I mentioned that I got to see Disco. Haven't seen Disco in a while. I just sent her a message, let her know change of plans, come back to town. Hopefully I can meet her for a beer, and we can all go to the brewery maybe later tonight. Huge thanks to several people. In the last 48 hours, I've gotten a bunch of trail magic, which definitely makes this this situation I'm dealing with at home a little easier, because it's a lot easier to do this semi-slack pack and come back to the hotel and stay near town tonight, because my little sister sent me some awesome trail magic. My Uncle Roger sent me some trail magic, and Pam and Ron. Pam was my Sturgis mom, the motorcycle mama. And then also got some trail magic. I forgot who. Oh, so my Mama Raver. So I got Uncle Roger, Mama Raver, my sister, and Pam all sent trail magic within 48 hours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It makes, I don't know, it's always so exciting when you get trail magic. You get the message, and I was like, Moss, I got trail magic. definitely lifts the spirits. And it definitely makes staying in town a little bit easier when you got, when it's free. Quite honestly, it's always easier to stay in town when you don't got to pay for it. All right, so thank you all very much. You guys are making this tough situation easier on me. And what's not going to be easy is we're getting close to the end of this flat spot and we have a big climb. You know, Mount Greylock is in Massachusetts, so I think we got 3 days before we hit Mount Greylock, but that's going to be the first actual big real mountain that we've had in a while. So, all right. It's going to be hard to put a tent up like that. Hopefully it's not too hard to walk like that. This rock was wet and I slid straight down. I have to get up in a minute.
It's hot.
It's very hot. All right, so these homemade insoles are mostly fine. On the downhills, they slide around in the shoe a little bit because they're not to size. They're just the full size that you're supposed to cut down, but the full size are too small for my shoes. But they're working okay. But man, I just took a spill. There was a wet rock face. We're walking across it. That's where the trail was. I went down. I braced my fall. Went down my knee and my butt. Scraped up my knee a little bit, but after the initial pain, it was okay. I was bleeding a little bit, not bad. But I bent my trekking pole pretty good, which isn't good because I need them, 1. And 2, that's what I use to put my tent up. So now I'm gonna have to find a new pair of trekking poles. And there's not really an outfitter or like a Walmart or anything in this town. It's a nice little town, but it's just a touristy town. But the energy for that problem is gonna have to come later because I can't do anything about it right now. So I'm just gonna keep getting through the day today. That's the goal. Once she was right behind me, now she's ahead of me. Once I fell and saw how bad the pole was bent, she said, well, our list of problems keeps getting bigger. Ain't that the truth? It's been a interesting couple days. But as long as my body works, I'm going to Maine. And so far, it's working okay. So, this pole thing's just going to be another delay, but it is what it is. All right, pushing north. All right, just trying to make time here. Definitely a little behind for what we need to be to meet these people for the shuttle driver later. So I'm trying to push here on all the spots that are flat enough that I can push some speed. I did fix my trekking pole. So basically these are hollow aluminum tubes and they're in 3 sections. So it was the smallest section, one closest to the ground, that bent, and it bent just below the joint. So I used a tree to straighten it as best I could and then pushed the bent part back up into the, the telescoping. They telescope. So I pushed it into the next biggest size pole. So I made the 3rd section shorter with the bent part in the next section. And then I made the middle section longer. So they're the exact same size. Both poles are the exact same height, just adjusted differently. So pretty much good as new on the poles now. So that's good. One less thing to worry about. And I think I've done almost 7.5 miles, and I have about 4.5 hours left to do 10 miles. That would normally not be a huge issue, but there is some climbing. There's heat advisories today, and I've not really stopped to take any breaks. So there is supposed to be a trail magic up here in like 1.5 miles or so. I won't be able to stop at that. I'll probably just stop. Hopefully they have some cold Gatorade or something. I do need to stop at the next water source and fill up my water as well. But all in all, just trucking along, moving north today. Man, I'm sure glad that we decided to do this this section and go back to the hotel. It is so hot and sweaty. It's gonna be nice to have a cold shower and do laundry again tonight. Whew. Oh my goodness. So it's afternoon. It's 4 o'clock-ish. Today was a day, man.
We got our butts kicked.
We kind of did.
By the trail.
So you don't know kind of all this, but let me just recap it from the beginning. Our shuttle, we got a late start today. There was a snafu with our shuttle driver. There's heat advisories today. It is super hot. And our pickup spot, because we had opted to come back to the town and we were going to do 17 and a half. Well, the shuttle people that were going to pick us up won't pick up after 6 p.m. So the late start put us in a bad spot. So we did in this heat, we did pretty good. We did 8.5 miles in less than 4 hours. But during that time, I fell on a wet rock face. I bent my trekking pole. My knee's kind of sore. Right after that, Moss...
I developed a blister 5 minutes into the hike.
Forgot about that. You stopped a couple times.
I had to stop and address that a couple times. Finally put moleskin on it and it was fine. And then I fell down a rock covered in moss like it was a freaking slip and slide. Slid down it.
That rock was covered in moss and then you covered it again.
Yeah.
That rock was double moss.
But I was fine. And then it was just so hot that my clothes looked like they had just come out of the washing machine. And they were on me and it was cold.
So after 8.5 miles, there was a trail magic and we were sitting there and Moss is looking at the map and she says, "What do you think?" I said, "I think there's no way we're doing another 9.5 in 3.5 hours."
There was nowhere else to get picked up.
So we looked at the map and she consulted the shuttle driver and our only options were to go 1 more mile to another road and then the shuttler could pick us up there and bring us back. And we had to come back because we already have a hotel room and some of our gear is here. And it was going to be $30. So the guy doing the trail magic was like, "Oh, I'll drive you back there right now for free." So that pretty much, we just didn't have any options. The heat and the trail kicked our butt, and 8.5 is all we got today. So we are coming back here to shower, laundry, and rest for a while. The other good thing is Disco and the people she's been with are here, so I'm thinking I'm going to meet them later at the brewery next door. It'd be nice to have a beer with Disco since I haven't really got to see her much and only got to spend a few minutes with her yesterday. And now that I know Disco's mom and dad are still watching, hi Disco's mom and dad. Good morning. Did not really do any video in yesterday evening. We came back to the hotel after we had McDonald's. Showered, shower laundry and threw her clothes in the dryer. And then we went and met a bunch of other hikers over at the brewery. We ate, and I think Moss and I were the first ones to leave. We got out of there pretty early today, or yesterday, and came back here to go get an early night in bed because... we can't stay here again. We've been here 4 nights already in this town, so we gotta go. We have an early shuttle coming, should be here at 7 o'clock. It's still a few minutes before 7. And we're gonna get back on the trail. And today's the day we go our separate way. Moss can't wait. She's over there. So we're gonna get dropped off together, go our separate ways, and she just said see you tonight. So we may end up both at the same place tonight. We're back on the trail. Just said goodbye to Moss.
Bye.
Y'all know how to follow her. She shared her Instagram on a previous video. I think it was the last video. And now we are off. Right now we're together going the same way, but we're not sure. Neither one of us are absolutely sure where we're going tonight. It'll depend on the heat and everything, but maybe we'll end up in the same place. We don't know. And all right, back on trail. Try to get as many miles as we can before it gets too hot. Right now it's a couple minutes after 7 a.m. bugs have been horrible this morning. We've had a mix of climbing and then like leveling off their swampy areas, more climbing, and now this beautiful lake. Look at this. I was just crossing this muddy sludge and I need new shoes. These shoes have had it, but the treads are just a little slick. And I slid right off a rock. I didn't go down, but my feet went all the way in that sludge. So both feet are soaked, socks are soaked. Ugh. We're supposed to have a thunderstorm this afternoon that's supposed to be fairly severe. But it looks like it's, I don't know if it'll hit us or wherever I'm at or not. I don't know. It doesn't look that big. It's only showing coming through like just in the middle of the afternoon, then clear up again. So I hope to just be able to hike through it. Maybe I'm gonna get soaked later anyway, so maybe it'll just clean up this sludge I got all over me. So I'm not sure what all I've said before. I don't think I said a lot. I think I just shared that my grandma wasn't doing well health-wise. Sounds like that she probably only has a couple days left. And since finding that out, I've had very little motivation to hike. So it's been easy the last few days to take an extra 0, and then it was a snafu with shuttles, but it was a welcome short day yesterday. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm finishing this through hike. It's just been rough the last few days. And then I think maybe just because my mind's not in it, my shoes are shot, things just aren't going well. Like I slid on the rock yesterday and broke a trekking pole, which I've gotten mended, so that's fine. My knee was pretty sore last night, but it's not too bad now. Like it hurts, but it's not bad. It's mostly just like a bruise and a little skinned up skin. It's not like a bad hurt. But then like little things like sliding into that mud. Ugh. And it all coincided with Moss and I planning to hike differently, which it's something we both really wanted to do. It's just like she was really feeling like she wasn't getting something out of her hike that she wanted to, and me kind of the same way. I kind of feel like I've been going a lot slower lately, which has been good because had more fun, had more experiences in towns and things like that. Experiencing some cities or little towns I've never been to and may never come back to again. You never know. So it's been good, but now I feel like I need to make miles. And I plan to go get off trail for probably a week and go back for the funeral when the time comes. And I'm just trying to get to Rutland, Vermont before that happens. And I got a lot of miles to do between now and then. I think, I don't know, it's 150-ish. So I'm just not feeling it, but I need to push 20s the next week and a half or so. And I just walked up on this beautiful view behind me. Anyway, so my videos probably aren't going to be very much fun the next couple days, but that's the reality out here. It's I'm having a rough time with not being at home right now. And realistically, I mean, I want to go home now, but you know, my grandma's been on hospice over a year. So, you know, even though they're saying the end is near, I mean, if I go home now, And that's a couple more weeks, another week for, like, I can't be off 3 weeks or something and still finish in time without doing some kind of flip-flop or something. And that's just not really in the cards for me, I don't think. I don't know, just tough spot. By the time you all see this video, the situation probably has already resolved itself, but anyway, as it sits today, rough days, friends, rough days. I think as we get further north, we just keep getting more and more of these really pretty ponds in the middle of the woods. I just came across that and I was afraid to record as I was doing it because, as you can tell, the footbridge planks have actually become like the dam to hold all the water in. And they were kind of sketchy going across. Just came up this hill and into the sun with this view. And oh my gosh, I've never been so happy to see a bench. I'm gonna sit and take a break and dry my socks out a little bit. I've seen this in other YouTube videos, but check this out. Trail stand, and right over here, there's like a little shed where you can buy stuff. Go check it out. See if they got a Gatorade. Oh, it's starting to rain. I was thinking maybe I was gonna dodge this storm today. I just stopped to get water, was talking to a couple other hikers at the water source. And then I have my book on tape, my audio book, listening to it. All of a sudden it starts raining. I'm just under the trees now, and it looks like it's kind of spotty. I thought it was going to start off real hard, but it kind of backed off. But I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way, or it sounded like it's starting again. Anyway, man, I have been very fortunate by some of you all. Some of you all have made me very fortunate with your generosity this last couple days. So I got, someone sent me some money on Venmo this morning, and I don't know how to pronounce the last name correctly, so I'm not going to attempt it and mess it up. But Stephen, thank you very much. And I'm going to share with what his memo said on the Venmo. It said, beer money. Don't waste this on anything frivolous like food. So thank you very much, Stephen, and I will definitely use that for beer money. All right, well, I think I've got over 12 miles done today so far. And I don't know what time it is. I think it's 1 or 1 something. So I should easily be able to make it the 20 miles today to Upper Goose Pond. I'd like to go a little further if I'm feeling it, but I just don't know. Oh, it's starting to rain again. There's just not many camp options after that. All right, phone's got to go away. Here comes the rain. All right, good evening, everybody. I am at Upper Goose Pond Cabin, but I'm tenting, not staying in the cabin. And this is the first night Moss and I are not camping together. She's somewhere back behind me. I know she's not coming here. I'm not sure how far she went today. I think probably the only other option I think was maybe 10 miles back, unless she was stealth camping. So I'm guessing she probably stopped somewhere around 10 miles or so after the end of the day. This place is beautiful around here. I didn't do much recording this afternoon. I did almost 20 miles. But it's been kind of a sad day. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I need some time to process some things, and we'll talk more tomorrow. All right, good night, everybody. Come back next time and see my continued trek into Massachusetts.